How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Berlinerweisse up in this piece in the form of Bolero Snort Brewing. It's the Berlinerweisse. This is the mango, pink guava, and pineapple variant. Yeah, this comes courtesy of my boy Dan. He dropped off a box of beers on my doorstep. Home delivery, how about that stuff? And it's been a while since I've had a Bolero Berliner. I'm kind of pumped for it. We'll see what's what. I haven't even had a ton of Bolero stuff since they've moved into the new brewery. A couple things, one or two things here or there. So, yeah, let's see what this sucker has. Now, it's alright. It looks like, they're pulling the whole kind of Miami-Vice, Berlinerweisse kind of thing going on. But it's not Miami-Vice in the background. That's kind of Outrun, an old video game called Outrun, is what it looks like, which I'm down with anyway. So, I kind of dig the can. As far as it goes, it looks more like a hazy New England Pale Ale IPA at this point, but doesn't look like some of these new school kind of fruited Berliners. So it looks the part. Anyway, it's good nose. I get a passion fruit tartness. I get a pineapple. What else is in it? I forget what's in here already. So pink guava, which kind of comes off to me as like passion fruit from time to time. So mango and the pineapple and that guava really does come out for me. It has a little bit of sulfury funk to it. Not huge, but it's definitely there. So you know it's kind of like a soft little kind of kettle Berliner, nothing too crazy. I believe the ABV is like 4.9%, but that fruit really does come to a head. I assume this is going to be really kind of tart, kind of leading your brain into thinking a lot of these fruits are really acidic citrus forward. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it smells the part of a nice little fruited Berliner. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. That's sweet. It's very sweet. It's not overly sweet to the point where it's like, oh my god, I can't drink this. But usually when you get into these kind of fruited Berliners, you're met with this big tart component. That's here. But it's like sweet tarts. There's enough sweetness there to kind of bounce it off to where you're getting this kind of explosion on both ends of the spectrum towards pulling you towards the sweet, pulling you towards that tartness. Very much like, sweet tarts, Smarties, those kind of things kind of going on, but in the citrus realm, in that kind of tropical fruit citrus realm with that guava, and that pineapple really come to a head. And that mango actually shows up pretty decently, that kind of after your first gulp, it kind of really comes in the back end. That sulfur component I was talking about in the taste, or in the nose, it's smaller. It's in the taste, but it's even smaller, so it's almost like not even worth mentioning as far as a flavor note. And yeah, I like this. This is actually like really kind of refreshing, and it's almost like a beer mimosa, more than an actual like a fruited Berliner to me, because of how that citric acid kind of thing comes in your head from the kind of tart portion of the show from the Berliner, so that kind of adds this kind of real fruit juicy vibes to it. And then you have that sweetness that really does bring it home to that kind of straight fruit juice. But the carbonation kind of gets you to the point where, in a malt bill, kind of gets to the point where you're like, okay, I am drinking a beer, but it's like kind of like a beer mimosa. So think of taking like a soft Berliner, base Berlinerweisse, and kind of mixing it with just like orange juice, or like a fruit medley or something like that. It's very much how it comes off, but it's done in a really fun, really kind of tasty kind of way. So I could crush the crap out of these. It's almost a session beer without, even though it's kind of like aggressive in both the sweet tart and fruit portion of the show. Yeah, I like that. I think it's tasty. I think it's well done. This is one of the better Berliners, fruited Berliners I've had in quite some time. It really does toe the line of not being beer, but fucking BJCP nerdery be damned. Tasty is tasty, and this motherfucking tasty. So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better Berliners I've had? Yeah, probably up there, Mount Rushmore status. It reminds me so much of a really well done kind of mimosa, but in beer form. It's still a beer, and that's a cool trick of kind of playing and pulling off. I really dig it. Bag availability, it's Bolero. I don't know what these go for. I'm assuming they're $16, give or take $1 here and there. I'm assuming they can be had outside of the brewery too, because I do know a lot of their stuff hits distro, but it is what it is. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like Berlinerweisses, if you like mimosas, and you want them to have babies, if you like your beers to skew fruit forward when they're kind of in that kind of sour context, and you like mimosas, I don't think I can keep saying that, man. Yeah, if you like those things, you'll like this sucker, because it's delicious. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Bolero Snort right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.